Hey everyone, today I'll be reviewing the CN Liren, which is a legendary Tier 3 cruiser from the Artstorm market. As usual, we'll go over its stats, offense and defensive capabilities, usage tips, and at the end, I'll share my final opinion on the ship. The durability of this ship is good. It may not be as durable as the RF Piotr Veliki, but it's certainly more durable than the FS Jeanne d'Arc. It has the same speed as the RF Variag, which is lower than that of Jeanne d'Arc, but higher than that of Piotr Veliki. Its maneuverability is also the same as that of Variag, which is just slightly worse than that of the USS Arkansas. In terms of visibility, the ship has stealth, so it's expected to have low visibility. But when it comes to how stealthy it actually is, it's less stealthy than the USS Battlecruiser 2000, but it's more stealthier than the IFCX 260. As for its movement penalty, it doesn't worsen its visibility too much since it has an average value. The same goes for its view range. It's also average, so you won't have much trouble spotting targets from afar with this ship. The ship is equipped with 3 customizable missile launchers, which is now considered average for that type of weapon due to the emergence of ships that have 5 of them. The ship is also equipped with 4 cannons and 4 grenade launchers, but all of them are locked onto the ship. The cannon that the ship uses is weak, but since there are 4 of them aboard the ship, they deal enough damage to slightly surpass the total damage of the Paladin's cannons, which is a pretty good thing. On top of that, while they deal slightly more damage than the Paladins, they also reload much faster, which makes them even better. As for the grenade launchers, it's a similar case to the cannons. The grenade launcher it uses isn't particularly good in terms of damage, but because the ship has several of them, their damage is enough for them to have nearly the same total damage as what 2 TRGs can generate. Furthermore, it reloads much faster than the TRG, which is quite impressive. It also has autocannons, but they contribute very little to the ship's overall firepower, as it only has 2 of them. Unfortunately, all these weapons aren't good enough, as the firepower the ship delivers to its targets is rather weak. Take a look at its burst damage output compared to other cruisers. As you guys saw, the ship's firepower is worse than that of the USS Arkansas and RF Kerch, but it's comparable to that of the FS Jeanne d'Arc, which isn't a good thing, since Jeanne d'Arc is the weakest cruiser in terms of firepower. You could say its strength lies more in damage per minute than in burst damage, and I'd agree, considering how quickly it reloads and how powerful its cannons and grenade launchers are. However, I don't think it excels at damage per minute either. In my view, it's just barely decent at best. The reason is that I've had plenty of situations where the opponent was fully exposed and should have been eliminated, yet they still managed to escape just before I could finish them off, even though I was using all my weapons and firing them as fast as possible. To make matters worse, they ended up dealing just as much damage to me as I did to them during the encounter. Maybe it's a skill issue on my part, but I'm quite sure my skills is working right. Whatever it is, that's the experience I've had with the ship. In terms of anti-submarine capability, the ship relies entirely on its 4 grenade launchers to deal with underwater threats. They can hit both surface and underwater targets, including torpedoes and submarines, and with the performance I discussed earlier, they should perform decently against underwater threats. As for its anti-air capability, it's quite good, as the ship has 8 air defenses, which is a lot. If you equip it with dual-purpose autocannons, it effectively becomes 10. Making its anti-air capability even stronger. There are 2 air defenses out of the 8 that are locked onto the ship, while the rest are customizable. These locked air defenses are inferior to the ones found on the HMS Paladin, but they're still quite lethal. The CN Liren is capable of fulfilling support and defense roles, like most cruisers. Taking on the offense role would be very risky with this ship, as it's likely to be overpowered in combat due to its not-so-good firepower. If you take on a support or defense role, it won't completely eliminate the risk, but it will certainly increase your chances of survival and victory. It's also worth mentioning that the ship should only be brought into close or mid-range combat. It shouldn't be used in long-range battles because it's very important to make the most of its cannons and grenade launchers, as the ship doesn't have great firepower. Given how challenging it is to hit targets at far distance, if you can't hit your targets consistently, its firepower will feel more weaker, and it will be difficult for you to effectively support your team. Here is my build for CN Liren if you guys are interested in it. There's nothing special about it, as it mostly uses the weapons I normally go with, except for the helicopter and air defense, which I picked randomly. If I were to suggest something, for the helicopter, I recommend using anti-submarine ones like the Z-18F or Z-20J. As for the air defense, I suggest using full Roland 2 or full Sea Dart, since their high range and damage complement the ship's locked air defense well. Here are the advantages and disadvantages of the ship. Overall, this ship is kinda bad, and I don't think it's worth getting. While you can make it work in battle by following the advice I've given, using it isn't fun, and can certainly be frustrating. Even with proper use, it's still very possible to get overwhelmed, especially if your team is made up of less skilled players, because it doesn't eliminate the risk, it only reduces the chances of it happening. I'm aware that the ship has some strengths, like its anti-air capability and decent stats, but I don't think they're good enough to make up for its drawback. And considering the price of the ship, I also don't think there's strong enough reasons to justify buying it. I've heard many players still consider this ship the best cruiser. That might have been true in the past, as I felt the same way when it was first released. However, with everything mentioned and shown in this video, I don't think that's the case anymore, and I believe it's overrated now. Now, I'll leave you guys a video of the gameplay of the ship for you guys to see how it performs in battle, and that'll be it for today's video. Hopefully you guys like it, and if you all did, please leave a like and subscribe to support me. Thank you so much for watching.
Navigation system reporting green. Set up the course. Pilot, head us forward. 050. Half ahead.